We never had to close our doors and kind of wait it out. We were still able to help people by making accommodations to what we could do at the shop to get people the gear they needed to go outside. We sold most of the bikes we had been sitting on the floor, which is awesome, but we were still getting our normal capacity of visitors and people who still were looking for bikes. And then the supply chain was kind of broken for us to get anything coming new in, so we really had to put our efforts to making our rental programs work so that we could get people outside, renting gear rather than taking it home for, their use. The cons is just that there were still so many people visiting, and so it does wear you down after a while when you're having to repeat, can you wear a mask? If you don't want to wear a mask, you have to go to the side of our building, the same type of directions that, you kind of lose that intimate conversations with people. Janine is one of our other co-owners of Pagosa Mountain Sports, and myself are both coaches for Desk 2. And we've been on that nonprofit since day one. And this year we were really nervous about not being able to ride bikes with kids. But we were seeing the benefit of kids being outside and still getting to do their social activities. So we once again had to make extra precautions. We're so lucky in Pagosa. We're in such a, I think, special spot of the world that even with, sometimes it felt like we were in our own little bubble while other communities were struggling. But I feel like Pagosa was very fortunate with how we were able to get through.
So in the beginning, we were gonna have me in the front of the house a lot more. But once COVID hit, we just wanted to monitor the guidelines as well and try to limit our exposure and my daughter's exposure. We've had a lot of people that have been there a long time, and we're really grateful, and it's a very family-oriented area. So we asked them to think about what they were doing outside of work hours, who they were hanging around with, what type of areas they were in, and to really try to monitor and follow the guidelines so that our livelihood was their livelihood. And they really took a lot of ownership in that. We moved to Pagosa. We're both from small towns, and we moved to Pagosa for community. And I get teary and overwhelmed. We had a staff appreciation early in May, and this town just showed up. It was amazing. Sorry. Not just that night, but for like a month. They would just come in and hand an envelope and say, "This is for your kitchen staff," or, and that's what small town's about. A lot of restaurants that are smaller based, our 25% capacity is 3 tables, and you can't survive on that. And so Rosie's was actually the first one to get a tent up outside, and man, the city was on it like this. They came down, inspected it, let us know what we needed. We were kind of a guideline for them as well. If we hadn't had that tent, we wouldn't have been able to make it. So that was a big win, just to have all the support of the community and our staff and the city and other restaurants. We're new here, and to have people back up and just come in droves and just say, "We got you," that was great.
We didn't slow down when COVID hit. So my home life didn't slow down. I still got up every morning, went to work. I'm an avid road biker. I spend a lot of time on my lunch hour riding around town and getting some exercise and burning off stress. The stress level was a little bit higher simply because you're not just dealing with people that are vulnerable. Now you're dealing with sending people into people's homes that could be sick, and how do you know? And there's so many unknowns. You're dealing with human lives, not just your basic day-to-day thing, but who are you going to make sick? Is this the right decision? Can we offer care? If you wondered in a high political climate if there was still some humanity out there, our caregivers showed us that there really was. And they stepped up in a time without complaining, worried about their caregivers, about their clients at many times over themselves to make sure they got care. And I would say that's a huge win, especially in the past year where we've all been. Probably the loss, we lost lives. We had clients who lost their lives, and that was really hard. We're in a business where we lose people, but we don't normally lose people the way we lost them the past year. And that's hard on our caregivers. It's hard on our staff because we operate so tightly as family, we call it the angel family, that we feel it. And I think the other thing is the emotional toll that it's taken on the caregivers and even the staff, the extra things that we do. There were a lot of call-offs when people are sick. How do you quarantine people? Operationally, how often can you send somebody into a place where they've been exposed to somebody? How do you offer somebody who has no one else to take care of them? How do you offer them that care? And I would say that's part of the loss, is people don't get always what they need. With things like a pandemic, things that that you're not sure about, that you can absolutely conquer anything if you do it together in community and that you work together to make it better. And I believe that's what Archuleta County has done. There's been some people that really rallied together, and I'm very proud to be a part of that.
This video is sponsored by First Southwest Bank in Pagosa Springs.